What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Cincinnati Reds franchise. And today we're going to be getting close to the end of this season. I wanted to focus on just a few individual players who I think are a big piece to the continued rebuild heading into next season. First player we're going to look at is Spencer Steer, somebody who unfortunately kind of struggles to hit right-handed pitching, and due to that, hasn't really got the opportunity to get everyday at-bats, but he can hit left-handers really well, and his attributes have climbed because of his success against lefties. Here he is facing Julio Urias, so he's facing the lefty here, and good swing timing. He's just not able to get the full barrel on the ball. I don't know if the 62 vision has anything to really do with that, but I've noticed that with a lot of these players, the young players to be specific, is that they can barrel the balls up, they can get good swing timing, but they just are not getting hard contact. So that was a game right there with Spencer Steer. We're going to play a game with a player and player lock, and then we are going to simulate a game and then keep alternating that way. Second player I want to look at here is Jonathan India, who has a batting average that's up into the 300s up to this point, as he's going to reach outside of the zone for that one and pop it up behind second base in his first at-bat. So yeah, Jonathan India has been probably our best hitter this season. Something that I've noticed, we'll probably get to it later on in this episode, but our defense has really struggled this season, and one of our worst defensive players has been Jonathan India. So it's kind of a sacrifice. Jonathan India is a very good hitter for us, but his defense is a little lackluster. So he's 0 for 3 in this game, as he has runners on first and second, and he sends this one to deep left field with a charge, and it's going to be off the base of the wall, and Jonathan India will walk into second with a double. 2 RBIs for Jonathan India, and that's something that he's done well all season long, as he's been able to take advantage of pitches left in the zone, as he's going to round third here on Tyler Stephenson's base knock, and he will score at the plate to make it a 1-run game here against the Cardinals. Our season is pretty much over. We're 14 and a half games back of our division. I mean, we can try and get one last run here. This is like our last chance, really. Here's Elly De La Cruz with 16 homers on the season, batting .243 here in year number 2. After this episode was over, I did go in and edit Elly De La Cruz's batting stance a little bit. Kind of brought that back elbow down. I just feel like his swing is very slow, and I can't make contact at all when I hit with him, as him and India are going to turn 2 there here against the New York Mets. But yeah, when I hit with Elly De La Cruz, there's just something about it. I just can't put the barrel on the ball. Sometimes I'll have good swing timing, but he just does not hit it hard. I think that the vision has a little bit to do with it, but his hitting stats are not bad, and he simulates very well. I shouldn't say very well. He's like a 240 hitter, but I mean, he's close to 20 homers on the year. He does strike out 25% of his at-bats, so I think it's probably the vision that needs to come up in order for us to have more success with him. But I figured let's try and edit the batting stance, bring that back elbow down a little bit, and maybe that'll help. Here we're looking at Andrew Abbott, thinking about bringing him up here in the September call-ups. He's already used his option on the year, so it wouldn't hurt to bring him back up. Unfortunately, at 24 years old, he's kind of stayed at that 70 overall. He has beat potential, so he can get up into the 80s as far as overall, but he just hasn't really improved that much this season. And it's kind of unfortunate, because I thought that he could be an easy number 4, number 5 in our rotation, but with us being aggressive in the offseason, I don't know that he's really going to have a chance to be our 4 or 5. As this this game, we're going to focus on Jake Fraley here, batting .270, and he can crush right-handed pitching. Another one of those guys where it's like he can hit one side of the plate, but the other side of the plate, he's not going to really hit lefties that well. And it's a little unfortunate, because it doesn't allow us to have somebody who can be on the field every day. He has to have a platoon guy, and Chad Pender's done a pretty good job at that this season. But, Pender is getting up there in age, and we want Fraley, who we just signed to a 3-year deal, to be able to play most games. As here he's facing against a lefty, Fleming, and he hits this one over the right fielder's head. So, proving me wrong, 107 off the bat for Fraley. It's going to be an RBI double for Fraley. He took that pitch right there against the lefty, and he crushed it to right field, right over the right fielder's head. So, like I said, proved me wrong. Over 100 off the bat. He strikes out against Edwin Diaz, who is Alexis Diaz's brother. If you guys don't know, I'm pretty sure everybody knows up to this point. So yeah, 61 and 75 is our record now. We do pick up a win against the Milwaukee Brewers. Next guy we're going to be looking at here is Tyler Stephenson, who before he was injured was probably an MVP favorite, because he had started the season off very well, as Eugenio Suarez will throw out Tyler Stevenson. But yeah, before he got injured, his hitting stats were incredible. He was playing well behind the plate. He got hurt and then came back and was never really able to turn around. Batting .245, only 10 homers on the season. And unfortunately, it has kind of affected the way his team has performed because he never really was able to be that elite catcher since coming back from his injury. We're hoping that towards the end of this season, he can kind of finish with a hot streak and then head into next season the way he started this season. As we lose another game 7-6 against the Brewers and another series. So here's Heriberto Hernandez, another guy I wanted to focus on. He's got the C potential, which I'm pretty sure his potential was 72, and right now he's 71 overall. So he might not improve that much more, which is a little bit unfortunate because I think he's been a guy that's really fun to play with. But I think he could be a very good backup catcher for Tyler Stevenson. I want Stevenson to primarily play catcher because I do believe that's the best place to have him at. And Heriberto Hernandez would be a really good backup catcher for us. I do believe that. As he lines this one up the middle for an RBI, as that was 100 miles per hour off the bat by Hernandez, a guy that just really hustles out there. His speed isn't crazy, as he's going to go first to third. No, he's going to hold up at second. He's going to go to third. What is he doing? Runner was safe at home, but Heriberto Hernandez going to third, back to second, to third, back to second. What a crazy player this guy is. And now he's going to try and swipe third. Here's the grounder over to shortstop, and Heriberto, he's not stopping. Hernandez is going to slide into home. What a play by Heriberto Hernandez. You know, when you're in these player lock situations, anytime you get on second or first, even third potentially, and there's a 1-2 count and there's 2 outs, you might as well just steal because he's either going to make contact or strike out. And so it is kind of like a little bit of a cheat, but it is fun to see what happens. So now we're going to simulate a couple more games here. We're going to lose another series, and then we're going to get nearly swept. We do get swept against the Atlanta Braves. So now we are 20 games back of 500, and we are 11 and a half games back of the wild card. I thought about just potentially wrapping the season up in this episode, but I decided, no, we're going to have one last episode just because the season went by way too quick, and you guys deserve a little bit more from this season, even though it's bringing us nothing. I still want to, give you guys one more episode after this. It's Joey Votto. We're going to add him to 40-man, and we're going to call him up because we suck, and this is probably his last ride right here. We signed him to a minor league contract, never called him up, so kind of felt bad for him a little bit. So we're going to call him up, and he's going to have to play, half a month with us here. Maybe he can bring a hot streak to us, as we're going to be rocking the City Connect uniforms today. And we're going to have Andrew Abbott on the mound, 4.29 ERA, 61 strikeouts, 42 walks, and a 1.46 whip. And he's going to be facing the dangerous Phillies lineup. But with that being said, the Phillies lineup is a lot of danger is on the left side of the plate. So here's Taijuan Walker now. He's 10-10 on the year, 4.35 ERA, 99 strikeouts. And he's going to be facing a Cincinnati Reds lineup who's done a really good job this season, as Indy is going to bloop this one in the left center, and he's going to have himself a base hit. Runner on with 1 away. Here's Tyler Stevenson now, batting .243, so the average is actually going down a little bit. And it's going to be off the glove, and Stevenson is in the first. So runners on first and second now with 1 away, and Elly De La Cruz is up. See how high his elbow is back there? It just feels like when he does swing, it takes away some of that power. As we tried to steal, a double steal on the 3-2 count. Unfortunately, De La Cruz pops it up. They're running again as Urshela will strike out to end the first. Here's Garrett Stubbs now, runner on first, and he goes down swinging on a changeup by Andrew Abbott. What a pitch. In real life, the Cincinnati Reds have now lost 2 in a row against the Atlanta Braves up to this point. After the 12-game winning streak, the longest in 68 years, I believe is what it was. Ridiculous run that they've been on. As we're going to call on Graham Ashcraft now, as De La Cruz in the hole is not going to be able to throw out the speedy catcher, JT Realmuto, probably the fastest catcher in baseball. So Andrew Abbott was kind of an opener for this game. Graham Ashcraft as Hernandez will be throwing out JT Realmuto. What a throw by Heriberto Hernandez, trying to prove that he can play behind the dish. As I don't remember what my thought was before the play by Hernandez, but Jake Fraley's going to hit this one down the line, and he's going to have himself an easy extra base hit here in the bottom half of the third with nobody down. So an opportunity here for the Reds to take the lead here with nobody away and a runner in scoring position. Here's Jonathan India, 1 for 1 on the day, and he's going to pop this one up to the first baseman, and unfortunately that will not be able to advance the runner. As here's Tyler Stevenson now. He's also 1 for 1, 2-1 count to him. And he's going to send the liner to first, and it is caught. So 2 away now, and the Reds are at risk of not scoring the leadoff double. So De La Cruz will line out. He's kind of hitting the ball a little harder in this game, but like I said, I think when he has that elbow up, I think it takes away some of his power. As there's Heriberto Hernandez with a line drive in between third and short, 102 off the bat for a base hit with 2 away. So there we go. Heriberto Hernandez can hit the ball very hard. Here's Jesse Winker now batting 8 for us today. Would like to have him higher up in the lineup, but he's batting 8, and he's crushing this one to right center field. It's off the wall. Heriberto Hernandez is going to round third. He's going to try and score. Here's the throw, and he is out by a mile. He tries to turn back and run to third, but he was out by a mile. What a relay by the Phillies defense. Here's Jake Marisnick now as he's going to send this one down the line, and that one is going to advance the runner to second as they now have runners on first and second here at the top of the 5th with 2 away. And here's JT Realmuto as he's going to send this one to India. India trying to throw Realmuto out, and he's not going to do it. So JT Realmuto with 2 base knocks in the infield as the bases are juiced now for Edmundo Sosa. And he's going to hit this one into center field. Fairchild running to get underneath of it, and he is there. As Graham Ashcraft gets himself out of the inning. As here is Austin Davis. You guys probably could hear my phone fall out of my pocket right there. As Bryce Harper sends this one back deep, and it's gone. So 106 off the bat. You know, and I thought lefty. He was our only lefty. Austin Davis is our only lefty in the bullpen. I said, let's bring him in because I don't want a righty facing Bryce Harper right now. And he sends it right down the middle, and Bryce Harper sends it over the wall. 19th homer on the year for him. Actually kind of a low number, to be honest, because here's Brandon Crawford now 1 for 2. And he'll hit this one into right center. Fairchild using his speed to get over there to make the play. And that will end the top half of the 6th. The Reds offense needs some runs here as Bryce Harper propels the Phillies to a 1-0 lead. As here's Matt Strahm now facing Stuart Fairchild. And Fairchild's going to send this one to right center field. Another hard hit ball for the Cincinnati Reds offense. And this one is going to be an easy stand-up double for Stuart Fairchild. Probably could have tried for third, but it would have been very risky to do so. So a 2-out double for Fairchild, and the Reds with another opportunity as Spencer Steer batting .284, 11 homers on the year. And he's going to hit this one in to left field, and he just didn't get enough of it. As that's going to end the 7th inning, the Reds still trail 1-0. The offense has gone cold here as of late. Here's Bryce Harper, 2-2 count, and he goes down swinging. Tony Santillan with the strikeout. Man, I have been impressed with Tony Santillan this year. Lucas Sims, another guy who the ERA is kind of high, 3.86. You know, kind of want that to come down a little bit, but he has been good overall. But Kyle Schwarber's going to prove me wrong as he hits this one to deep center field. I think that one's hit much farther than Harper's was hit. 406 is how far Schwarber's going to hit this one out, 105 off the bat. It happens to the best of them, Sims. Got to keep your head up because he is a key piece to this bullpen. I think the bullpen was perfectly fine this season. Our starters just couldn't do anything to really help us out. And something that we might look at later on is Alexis Diaz's stats. He has improved big time this season. The ERA continues to go down. So really kind of happy with that as we're going to have our last chance here. Schwarber with the home run to make it a 2-0 game. Gio Urshela 0 for 3 on the day. He's going to hit this one over to third. Here's the throw. 1 away. So Jose Alvarado, the closer here for the Phillies. And here's Christian Encarnacion Strand batting .208 here at the big league level. 1 home run for him. Let's see what he can do as he's going to draw the walk. So a runner on first now as the Reds may have an opportunity. Here's Heriberto Hernandez, and he's going to get hit by the pitch. It was a 2-2 count, so Alvarado had a chance. Here's Nick Plummer coming in to pinch run for Heriberto Hernandez. We need the speed over there to try and tie this game up as Chad Pender, 3-2 count. Hits this one up the middle, on to second. He does it himself, and it's a double play for the Phillies. And they have beaten us 2-0. And at this point in the year, it feels like this team is just not where it was at the beginning of the year. I don't know if it was because of injuries. I really don't know what the cause would be for why we have just not played well in the second half of this season. And not even the second half, like the second half plus about 3 weeks before the second half. We have just not played well at all. 2 hits for India, 2 hits for Fairchild, and that was pretty much our offense on the day. No runs for us. Each team committed an error. One of the errors was Elly De La Cruz, as it was Austin Davis who came in and allowed the solo shot to Harper. Lucas Sims allows it to Schwarber. And we have another losing streak that we're on here, as we finally get a win before losing 5 in a row. As now we have another injury as Tyler Stevenson. He'll be out for a couple of days, not too bad. But Heriberto Hernandez's season is done. He'll be out for 1 to 2 months. And now we're back to our losing ways once again. We lose again. And this season just is falling apart. At first, I thought maybe we could be a 500 team. I don't even know if we're going to be able to get to 70 wins now. Just a terrible, terrible last couple of months. As we're going to call it Marco Bautista, the AA season is over for now. And I want to get him 3 games at the AAA level. And that's what we're going to do in the next episode. We didn't look at Alexis Diaz stats in this episode, but I'm pretty sure we might do it in the next episode. With that being said, I wanted to talk about Alexis Diaz real quick. He has improved tremendously this season. I thought about trading him, but I think at this point he is very valuable to us. We have a lot of team control left, and if I do show you his stats in the next episode, he's been pitching really well for us, and it makes me excited. A guy who hasn't been pitching well is the guy you're looking at on the screen right now, Nick Lodolo. He's a guy that might get traded in the offseason. We have one more episode before we go live for the offseason. I don't know what day it's going to be yet, but stay tuned for the offseason. It's going to be a very aggressive offseason. Nobody is safe on the Cincinnati Reds squad except for Jonathan India, Hunter Green, and Elly De La Cruz. Everybody else, you may be going to a new team. But that's going to do it for this episode. If you guys enjoyed it, I encourage you guys to leave a like, comment, subscribe. You know, I've seen major support recently on these videos, so I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. See ya.